What the fuck? I can do this shit. Watch this.
Yo, you already know what the fuck's going on. It's G Hunter representing Talk of the Town, representing Mass Coalition, and we got another motherfucking episode. Special guest coming all the way. Long drive. Was it a long drive? Semi-long drive, right?
Hour and 40.
Hour 40.
Okay, so that's long in my book. You know what I'm saying? Pete, Uncle Pete.
How you guys doing?
Anybody special guest? He been killing jokes all motherfucking day. Introduce yourself, boss.
My name is Mick.
And then y'all are probably wondering why he has a kilt on.
Can they see the kilt?
Yes.
You guys said nothing could be seen.
No, you can see the kilt.
Nice.
Yeah. You want to actually tell them why?
Yes, so I'm a broker in the state of Maine, and I found early on wearing the kilt kind of helps get you remembered and kind of sets you apart from kind of the rest of the crowd. And
Your sales went right up, right?
it did. I tripled sales my first week wearing the kilt, and I refused to take it off. Wore it on Space Mountain. Ride the motorcycle in it.
Wait, what?
Yep, it's very popular.
All right, so I think so. If you think if I get a kilt, my views will go up.
Hell yeah. I'll get you a kilt.
We gotta be
You're
a Talk of
done
the
now.
Town kilt. It's
Done
about to
now.
go crazy.
I'll get you a kilt.
It's gonna happen.
Let them know a little bit about who you are. You know.
How you guys doing? So I go by Uncle Pete. My wife and I and my family own craft cannabis in the state of Maine with caregivers, medical marijuana. We've been doing this since 2011. Been involved with the state of Maine in a lot of laws, helped Massachusetts go for 2016, Maine, Massachusetts, California, and 2 other states turned legal. Nevada, another one. And we had 12 states at the same time turn medical. So it was pretty interesting. A lot of the reasons that I came out as a grower was simply because people in our state, our medical program was awesome, and I gave a story to, I gave an interview, and I thought I killed it. You know when you give a good interview and you're like, yeah. Well, somebody called me later and said, hey, you said Maine was the #1 medical program. I go, it is, and he goes, not anymore. They're kicking everybody off the organ donor list. And that's no good. We're trying to all heal each other, extend our sunrises and sunsets, and now we're calling each other off. Like you can't receive an organ for something that has nothing to do with your heart for anxiety. So that was wrong, and so we had to get all these states to pass in one time power the voters, and we had to make sure Maine passed yes on one as well. So we did the commercials with them, went all over the country, like Josh Crosney's Can of Science conferences, and met like Nobel Peace Prize winners and researchers for cannabis all over the world. And I knew medical was staying, so now time to dig in and fight, you know, because nobody should be kicked off an organ donor list because you're using cannabis. And so that's kind of what started me coming forward, testifying legislation, helping with bills, because it isn't right. And from 2014 on, I've been working with Maine legislation on and off. Every bill that's an idiot bill or something that's necessary, I would get involved. Excuse me.
It's okay. Do your thing.
And we've got a lot of bills passed through, like yes on one, and we did get everybody to come in. We had Viceland come in and interview us for Weedakit, and we really put the legislators in a squeeze because getting kicked off organ donors list is complete bullshit. It had nothing to do with you using cannabis. They were saying that the cannabis that you're even holding now, there could be aspergillus on there. It's a fungus. And there's more fungus on grass on the ground or at the grocery store because it's just a common fungi. And they said that could have problems with rejecting a brand new organ. So we had scientists from all over the world testify, again, that there's more aspergillus fungi all over the place and less in cannabis. So if you use concentrates instead of smoking a joint, big deal if you recover from a massive surgery. Who cares? As long as you can use your THC and feel better. So we won. And now when we go to Augusta, we actually, like our whole team of individuals, legislation listens, and they try to make the laws better so the medical program survives. Because of all for rec, I don't think anybody should ever be arrested for a joint. I think that's offensive. You can't OD on it. Why the hell is it illegal? Put an age limit on it and, go from there. But
Preach.
that's it. And nobody's ever died from cannabis, so I think this is all really foolish when they get so serious and talk about bills that are gonna be unnecessary regulations. So we have a lot of work to do to make sure everybody from their home areas, if they're trying to get a license, they've been doing this and they help probably Yes on One get in or legislation trying to get things right. Well, if you're from an area that doesn't have a cannabis store, it should be residents first, a residency clause, and I'll never be quiet about that. I believe that wherever you live, if other big funded people are coming in, you should be the majority owner and you can fund it. And that's it. So there lies a lot of the problems with outside companies coming in, and
We really want our money staying in our communities.
we do. We
If
want to
these
keep
big
it.
corporations are coming in, they're taking the money from our local economy, and they're
going right
taking
out.
that to wherever they're based, and it's not helping our economy at all.
Can't leave the money there. You gotta. So they gotta move it. So it's just sad. So we try to fight for all the local farmers, all the local growers in Maine, medical and rec, make it right. Try to make it the way it was supposed to be. And we got some really good laws in Maine. They have great organizations like associations like the Cannabis Coalition. Medical Marijuana Caregivers of Maine, if you've seen their organization, they have flyers and they do a lot at Freedom Rally, and they're all good. They all work together too for bills that have to pass. So we try to just make sure all our programs survive, and every year it's different with new senators or reps coming in, and they have a different idea, and you got to start over. So one of the things that the past 2 years, my friends and I from Yes on One, we all kind of know how legislation and the bills work and how to go to Augusta and present it and get sponsors, which would be the legislators. Like if you're a representative or you're a senator and you believe in what we're doing, we need you to be our sponsor for a bill, and then you bring it to House Appropriations, make it legal, and blah, blah, blah. And then they go to the floor to vote. So instead of going through a senator or a representative and trying to explain all this, and they're brand new, you got to start over. You got to donate maybe to their campaign, be involved so people will understand. You got to start over. So my biggest thing is,
He's answering all the questions I got in just one take.
oh yeah, and my biggest thing for everybody that helped turn this legal in all these states, it's legal, it's rec, most of the states that we did this, and also it's medical. So now what do? You want to be a lobbyist? Great, you know your way around the state house. Try thinking different. I think different, and try thinking different and run for office, because if people know you in the cannabis industry, you have a lot of people. There's over 60% that use in their families, so your numbers are already almost tied when you run for office, right away out of the bat. And if you have good brand, if you got a good person, you've done a lot of good things, you're there already. You don't have to go to Harvard to run for office in Massachusetts. You just got to have the numbers, and you get everybody like-minded to do the same thing. So now when a bill comes up, nobody has to convince you that that's going to shut down everybody you grew up with. It's gonna. They don't want joints coming out of delivery or no clones or something that would really, no vape pens, something that would really hurt you in your business, like it happened in Maine in October. So we all teamed up and went after them and changed that because it was wrong. So you really have to really have to think twice. If you don't have any baggage in your past or something you just don't care about, run for office. You know, you got thick skin. We've already done this at the State House. We've already got bills. I've had 6 bills statewide passed already that I've directly helped, and I was never voted into anything. But when I go down there, they know I use this because I'm trying to save my pancreas and liver. I've been doing it for 25 years. It keeps the swelling down. So they understand I use this for pain for a spinal cord injury that I sustained years later. So there's no narcotics for me. So when they see me, I'm not costing them a vote. I'm very easy to see anybody that's in public office, any businesses, because I'm just being honest that I have to use this to stay alive, and it's just what it is. I'm not going to sacrifice my pancreas and liver to go on pharmaceuticals. It's just not happening anymore. I tried that route and got very sick. This works. No idea why, but it does. And we have medical proof. So when we try to change a bill, I try to make sure that it's right for the masses, you know, that it's going to save your health or your health later on down the line, not anything out of greed. So that's why I got a pretty good name anyways. And we try to be honest. I try to be like I'm everybody's favorite uncle, where you can come to me. And you guys got a question? Yeah, I'm Uncle Pete. It just worked out that way. And my son, he's awesome. He arballed Uncle Pete, the living character. I didn't know if I had to change my license, you know. He's like, nah, Dad, it's just when you make appearances, you're arballed. He explained it to me. I thought it was funny. But it was in 420 we got that when that came in. It was pretty cool.
Brilliant.
Years ago. Yeah, I think so.
Brilliant.
Yeah, got to protect your brand name.
He just answered damn near about 5, 6 of my questions I was gonna ask.
I'm sorry.
And you just had a serious moment. It's so weird to hear you be serious after you was joking all this. Like that's.
I get that a lot. Everybody's like, you're never serious. And then when you get serious, people are like, whoa.
Oh shit.
Well, now it's on
Okay.
video. You were
Yeah,
serious.
now it's on video. You was serious.
No, I mean,
What we're doing is trying to make it so nobody gets arrested. Now, if somebody's dealing, that's money laundering. That's their own shit. But if you're growing cannabis and you got a license through your state, we're just trying to make it so you all survive and you don't have to sell out. You know, why affiliate with somebody big if you hold the license in your residency? And that's where a lot of communities missed out when it first got legal. And what are we going to do when they got regulations? It should have started just with residency clause. The lobstermen in Maine, they have a residency clause. Good luck getting a lobster license, no matter how rich you are in Maine, if you're not from there, to my understanding. So lots going on. And with farmers, some of the worst stuff, I guess, is going to the bank, using banking. And that's serious. We have to go and get money orders to pay the government, you know. So they're still getting the currency changed to paper from a money order store. Why can't we use our own bank where everything's in black and white? So we have a lot more to do for the industry as a whole.
I don't think it's just using a bank. It's being able to use the bank the same manner any other business
Just a
in
regular
America
business.
uses a bank. Because in southern Maine, you have access to some banking through credit unions, but they're charging you percentages that are exorbitant. They're
So we
putting
all pulled out of
restrictions
that when
and
they
reporting.
put those fees in. It was
It's a
nothing.
fiasco.
It was bad.
And all these people want to do is be able to pay the taxes that they're required to pay.
Go online, pay
It's a real
all your
struggle.
bills, you know. So it's frustrating. I've worked with one of the senators in the state of Maine, and they're on the finance committee, Susan Collins, Senator Susan Collins, and she's smart. Well, she thought the banking industry was all set because we could go to a credit union, and she didn't understand all the fees that they were jacked on, and it really isn't worth it. You know, when you can't have any deductibles federally for taxes, you can't take that hit to go to the credit union, and you just can't throw away almost 10% of your business. It's just not happening. I'm not doing it. Yeah, so everybody's just waiting for financing so we can offer benefits. But I do have a very, very good way around this. Sorry.
It's the Pete takeover. Uncle
Well-
Pete takeover.
Well, no.
You let a politician talk.
No, I'm not a politician.
First time
So
I had one on my show, so hey,
that's awesome.
Uncle Pete takeover.
He's really not. He's
So we got a good plan, and one of them is you've all heard of Bath Iron Works, right? They're like they make all battleships for the state, for the country. It's in Bath in Maine. It's in a big port. It's a big deal. It's a huge economy. Well, their union contacted me 2.5 years ago because what we got done in legislation. They said that they come up in a meeting, and a lot of the farmers want to form a cannabis union in Maine, and they're going to be a lot of legal problems to do it. The laws were changed, so you could have another association. So there's a lot to it. So I went to their meeting and met with their negotiators, and now they are going to be a real union, and we're going to have not just the medical, because it's power in numbers, and it's not supposed to be division. I want medical to stay, and it's going to. But rec, they have really bad policies on the adult rec. If you're a store owner or a grower, it's just stupid. And we want them to come in, all their employees, not because of what they pay them, because in Maine it's a assistant card. You can go wherever you want. Somebody pays shitty, go somewhere else, and there's no lag time. It's really good. So it's not about the pay, it's about we can get the Bath Iron Work Union benefits. So now you got health, optical, dental if you want to choose for that. You just got to pay a monthly due to the union. And I wouldn't shake their hand because in Maine we have over 120,000 people that have medical cards, and we don't have a huge state. There's like 1.5 million, I think, at the most ever, and it's probably lower than that. So you're talking a tenth of the population has a cannabis card. Well, a lot of them don't have health care. So let's do a union with all the people with medical cards. And if they want to pay a monthly due, then this access is for them. It's not free, but at least now they might have better benefits. If you were an accountant and you got a small firm, you might want to join the union, and because you're cannabis anyways. Now we get stronger, so we could literally be up tens of thousands within the year out, and that gives you good power. Go into legislation. This is wrong. You got your negotiation team. You just get it done. They'll give you pie charts. They'll tell you exactly the damage that this bill does. It's everything I ever wanted to do when you have to go up to Augusta and fight. And this is really good for the growers. So things are changing a lot, but I never saw that. I just figured it should be legal so nobody gets arrested. And then all these stupid bills get brought up and you got to go fight them, or nobody else does. And that's kind of how I got my name for trying to fix everything, because it's a mess, you know. And it's working out pretty good. It really is.
I feel like this has been like an educational episode with Uncle Pete.
I've been in it a long time. I'm sorry, man.
Nah,
You
it's-
got a lot of editing. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I feel like, you just dropped a lot of knowledge for people up and coming, growers and people that want to get in the position that you're at. So definitely makes a
what
lot of sense.
The whole thing that I want to do, though, out of all this, is to explain. If you were helping with the state laws and fighting for cannabis in your local communities, and now you're getting an understanding of the political side of it, you don't have to agree with how they do stuff. I don't. I don't lie, so I don't care. I'll just tell it how it is, and it's the right thing to do, and that's how everybody should be. Last July, our city a lot of people are upset with a lot of policies. And there's some good people on city council and the mayor. There really are. And the way they run it, it's pretty good. But they were bickering and fighting. It's pretty embarrassing, you know. And a lot of people that own businesses in town, they asked if I would run for office. It's a 3-year term. It's part-time. It's minimal pay. So there's no leverage. There's nothing like that. But they come in and help set policies like I did at the state level. They asked me if I'd do that. And apparently word got out, and there was over 1,000 people within 2 weeks that asked me if I'd run for office in my hometown. And when I go places like a cannabis event, I get it when somebody's like, hey, that's Uncle Pete, and you take a selfie or something. But in my hometown, it's Maine, nobody cares. You know, they don't, they're awesome. I grew up with them, we've done dumb shit together. Or I know their families that I've done stupid things with. And, but it was a little different. People asking, because of my experience, could I do this? You know, could I run for office? And it's like 20 minutes the city capitol, where the state city hall. Sorry, it's like 20 minutes from my house. And with my spinal cord injury that I have, I can drive like 40 minutes tops one way, or it gets off. Right? It's just a C-spine injury. And it is what it is. But this I could do, because it's close enough. And so I pulled papers on a Friday, and the next Friday I turned it in. I had 100 signatures, and they only wanted 50, and I didn't go knock on doors. Everybody came to my house, people I didn't know. Thank you for running. Please make Sanford friendly again, because I'm from Sanford, Maine, and I love my city. I do. I've lived there almost my whole life. And I think it's awesome. And I hated so many people that you would respect from your city feeling that way, you know? And they asked if I could do something. I'm like, wow, if I'm in this position, I might as well. I'll talk to my wife. And she called it. She said, you're going to win. Too many people came here, and just do good. So, night of the election, we're out there the whole day and shaking everybody's hands, and it was like a high school reunion, you know.
Like, did I give you like a list of the questions? Like, you just gone down all my questions.
Did I really?
Yeah, like,
you didn't give me a list.
Go ahead. Talk about the election. Night of the election. Go ahead. Yep.
So, night of the election, it was at my high school. It was a brand new high school, but it's the same people and same families. And I was grandparents are coming up and giving me hugs, saying thank you. And so I figured I'm not going to come in last, you know. And people I graduated with, it was awesome, getting high fives as they're going into either vote for me or not vote for me. And it was really cool. And it was an awesome experience. So it was nothing where I was intimidated. And I'm like, well, whatever plays out. If you win, you win. Who cares? I just didn't want to come in last. And so we go to the place where they were having the results, and I ended up getting 38% of all the city votes, which 4 people running is really good. So out of 11,500 people voting, I got 4,100 votes, and they just wanted me to fix this. So my message to everybody in the cannabis industry is, you already know Augusta. You already know your way around. So if you want to run for Senate, if you want to run for representative of your area or the state, do it. If you got the popularity, you got people that believe in you because you have changed laws. Well, hell, a lot of people that are part of legislation, most of them don't have bills. You know, they co-sponsor or something. And me and my wife, we got 6, you know, so I figured I wasn't over my head. I'm not, but I am calling out like everybody that is an activist, you know, run for office. There's no reason you cannot. You have teams of people that help you when you change laws. Run for office, make a difference, and I just can't say it enough. I have no interest in running for the state house. I just want to make my city better, and I'll be there to change laws at the state house anytime they screw up, because the medical has to survive.
and
Do you
dry.
have
I got caught,
Do
bro.
you have a favorite strain you like to smoke?
So Mick, why don't you tell them the story about one of my strands that's your favorite? Because it's a really funny story.
Okay. To you.
It is.
Wait, yeah, what Uncle P said.
Favorite strain. Take two. Orangutan titties. Sorry, John. Still sorry. So, I lost a client over orangutan titties, which is grown by Uncle Pete. Amazing weed. Seek it out. It's worth it. It was worth losing the client.
Wow.
So how'd you lose the client?
So I was having a conversation with the owner, and we were talking about our favorite strains, and he's like, I like blah, 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 and I'm like, I don't even have to think about it. My favorite strain is orangutan titties. And he goes, really, why? I said, it makes my nipples tingly. I didn't hear from that client for about a month. I had to drive 2 hours round trip off my regular route to find out why they stopped conversing with me. They said that I had stopped emailing, or I hadn't responded to an email. I didn't believe this, so I had one of my vendors call, because I didn't want the vendor's account to go sour, and I said, you need to find out what happened and save your product, please. So we find out that his girlfriend was in another room, so I did not do this in front of a girl. And she overheard me telling her boyfriend that orangutan titties made my nipples tingly, and that upset her, and they refused to work with me going forward. So now I frequently will lead with this story just to flesh somebody out, to make sure that
You want
6 months down the road,
deal with them.
I don't want to upset somebody 6 months down the road anymore.
What the?
So I just get it out of the way up front.
Some people are wound up tighter than others.
And that's
That's a true story.
That is the story of orangutan titties, frequently repeated.
What is one thing that you look forward to doing in 2023 that you haven't done in 2022?
I'd like to help more people. Once interstate commerce is available, and we're fighting on that, I'd like to see in 2023 we'll be able to use the federal banking system like a regular bank, like regular businesses, and then we will really be an industry just like any other industry that's out there. We'll be the cannabis industry, and my goal is 2023 to change as much as possible towards that, so we don't get taken over. There's already a pharmaceutical industry, but why don't we have a cannabis industry nationally? And I think that would be pretty amazing, and I'd like to see that through. I'd like to be fortunate enough to see that.
Hell, motherfucking.
Because we're all green. We all got to fight, no matter where everybody lives, no matter what your religion is. Doesn't matter if you're poor, doesn't matter if you're rich. We all get sick, and the cannabis plant heals you. And it prolongs the sunrise and sunsets, which is what we all fight for. So when I say we're all green, if you use cannabis, we're green. It doesn't matter. Everybody got to unite. And I think the cannabis industry nationally will be pretty friggin' amazing. And that is my goal for the country. We've got a lot of work to do.
I'm on board. Yeah, it's on camera. What about you?
So, in my capacity, my goal is to help as many of the cultivators and manufacturers of our edible products, freeing them up by assisting them with their sales and distribution throughout the entire state of Maine. I put a little over 83,000 miles on my vehicle last year, delivering from as far south as Lebanon, as far north as Grand Isle, Fort Kent, Calais,
Like tip to tip.
the whole state of Maine.
Yeah.
I'm blessed. I fell into the role that I have. I have the ability to work with the most amazing manufacturers of our edible products in the great state of Maine. I get to work with so many different cultivators of the most amazing flower in the state of Maine. And it's not just southern Maine, it's not just northern Maine. What I've been able to do is I've been able to get northern Maine's products in southern Maine and southern Maine's products in northern Maine in a manner that has been cost effective for both the people selling the product and the people buying the product. And I just
Kind of opened up the whole market
Yeah, I just
for all the
really
farmers
wanna-
and all the mom and pop caregivers. Say you grow something really good.
I want
And
people
for
to
a lot
know.
of it, he's legally has a license to put it in other stores, and it's just amazing. So I'm glad you
I
went this
have
route.
no idea how it happened. I am over the moon. It's been a lot of sacrifice on my wife's part. She misses me. I killed this weekend. I'm a dead man, but
She's mad.
we had to be here
Sorry.
to talk about this. I really believe in what I'm doing. And Pete talked about how he got into the cannabis with all of his ailments. My story is a little bit different. I didn't come into cannabis until about a couple of years ago, when I began experiencing the most ridiculous panic attacks and
No matter how
depression,
big you are,
and-
pain attack get you.
and I couldn't keep doing pharmaceuticals. I had to find an option that wasn't a pharmaceutical. I did not want to be a zombie in society. Cannabis has allowed me to not be hooked on pharmaceuticals. I'm taking something that's healthy.
Yep.
To that end, it's put me in an industry that's paying my bills. Not only am I a tax-paying citizen, I also go out of my way to find different charities to contribute money to put back into my community. I support my kid sister's a hip hop instructor. Shout out to Cassandra Megan. She is an amazing hip hop instructor. She has a comp team. I'm waiting to find out if they're going to nationals. They had to come in first place this year, so good luck, girls.
Good luck, ladies.
Good luck.
But I like to do things like contribute to what they're doing, because that's the arts giving back to the community, and it's the dreams that these children have, and it's pretty cool to be in a position now, through the work I do, to have a little bit extra to give back to the communities. We've done amazing drives for the veterans home. My grandfather was a veteran in a home. I used to be a veteran. It's just giving back to those people that put us in the position we're in today. Those things are very, very important to me. We have a really cool dog rescue, Lucky Pup, that we do fundraisers for every year. And that's another, real huge testament to the cannabis community, because anytime I go to any of my people that work with me, they're the first people to say, "How much do you need, Mick? What's it for? Great, here you go."
Yep.
And they're so giving. Everybody is so eager to give back to our community, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So, aside from the distribution and everything, I really hope that this coming year, more people don't just sit back in our cannabis community and rest on their laurels. They need to know that what's happening in politics is not stopping. They are going to continue to try and find ways to
Get
squeeze
rid of
us
you.
out of
Yep.
what we're doing, because they can get the money a different way, easier, and more of it. Let's protect our craft cannabis. We've got some of the best stuff in the world. The craft beer people are getting away with this. Why can't we?
Yep. And you got to give back to the community.
It's
You
all about our
always have to
communities.
You got to give back to people that are sick or injured. You got to donate. You got to give to good charities, major events. You got to donate to, and you have to. You
Yep.
have to take care of everybody around you.
And everybody's been great. If something happens to one of us where we don't have the medical benefits,
Yep.
they really rally together to help protect our own too, and we just need to do more of it.
Yep.
But we're getting there.
That was a good question. That was a good one.
I mean,
The crazy guy in the
since you let me get one out without you answering them all, Uncle Pete. But nah, it's been a different episode. I definitely appreciate you guys for coming on.
This is
dropping
nice.
this educational, like gems that people need to hear. Everybody that want to get into the growing business, that want to get into,
Protect your grow. Protect your business. Go run for office. If you've been at the State House, you already know how it goes. It's this simple. If you got a big following now, and you're in your area, and there's a public office, go for it. You're not getting rich. They don't pay good, but it's the idea that you can make a difference, not just to you or people you know. You can make a difference to people that you will never meet. And if this is your industry and you know what's going on, you should step up. And I'm actually calling you out. I don't care if you're an activist anymore. If you're in a legal state and you're in a medical state, that is not going to work anymore. Get your
Calling
ass
out
into
loud.
politics. Get your ass running for your district or state. So please protect your own. Please step up, do the right thing. And if you get lousy ratings and you finish last, so what? Be proud of yourself. You can tell your kids and your grandkids you tried to make a difference. That's what I'm telling mine.
That's a perfect. That's
Thanks.
that's a perfect way to just segue out of it. That's why I brought you here.
I think so. I think it's the right thing to do. So thank you.
So
Thanks a
good.
lot.
Let them know y'all on your Instagram where to find y'all at.
Oh, all right. So I'm UnclePete'sRelief.com, LEAF, because we're really cool. You can find us online, or you can find me as Pete Tranchmontaine. Facebook, it's 15 letters. It's really long.
Holy shit, you're cool.
And also Instagram, Uncle Pete's Relief. You'll find me. We're in Southern Maine. We've been open since 2011. If you have a med card, come on down. If you don't. I'm not selling to you.
Pete, I don't have any of that cool shit. I'm just Mick. I run this little company called Celtic Consignment and Brokerage. I do deliveries through the entire state of Maine, and I mean the entire state of Maine. Half the time I don't have cell phone signal anymore. But you can find CelticConsignment.com and check my website out.
Definitely appreciate you guys, man. This has been another outstanding episode. G Honcho, Talk of the Town. We out.